Don't be ashamed in 1 to 2 years down the road if things don't work out and say, I'm a failed advisor. Never say that. Everything happens for a reason. So you can walk out with your head held high. I did a reasonable best. It's not for me, but I learned a lot of things.
So you've spoken quite a bit about how job fulfillment feels like and the good side of FAs, and we've also spoken a little bit about some stigmas. We've mentioned it briefly, but the stigma that we have encountered way back then and the day and age currently now, do you think it has changed?
Yes. I think the stigma is always the fact where what were the things that people feel that the FA is trying to do to them.
Right.
For their own purpose.
Right.
So I'm sure it evolves with time because products have changed, the mode have changed. Now you have the scams have changed too. I mean, the modus operandi of scams have been, last time we were very physical scams, right? Now it's all digital, right? Cyber warfare is now equally, if not more, scary than physical warfare because I think that can penetrate even to Singapore. We don't have physical wars, but we have cyber wars. So I think in the same way, the stigmas of FA, I think the stigma is always the FA has knowledge that I do not have.
Yep.
Because of that, they are able to tell things to me that I might not necessarily know or understand. And because of that, they use that information disparity to get me to do things that is against my interests. I think that's the stigma. So the way it evolves will be based on the different times, right? So I think to dispel that in the first place is why can't it be a win-win situation? I think if the client's interest is first, I think that is important. But of course, if it's the client's interest without the advisors or the FA's interests to be met at all, which means that I'm doing this for free, or there's no value to what I do, then brings down to the fact that why we even have the human advisory in the first place.
Right.
Might as well you just do everything yourself, or you get a machine that will do everything for you. So I think if you understand that you need somebody to from those days will execute transactions for you, now you can do it yourself, but you still need a human advisor. Is more for behavioral coaching. It's a more sophisticated and holistic way of looking at things to be a project manager. I mean, think of it this way, you can renovate your own house. But why do you hire ID? I mean, you can but you take a long time to do so, right? If you can hire somebody to run the whole renovation for you, save a lot of time. But I need to pay that person, of course. Of course, whether the person deserves that fee is up to you to decide whether the person is value for money.
Right.
So I think that is the onus instead that whatever value that we give through our advice is value. But is it commensurate with the cost that we charge? That will be how the conversation would be. There will have to be that equilibrium of both sides.
Because the stigma has changed over time, then do you think that the responsibility of the FA also changed?
I think in the old days, it's a bit more product focused, right? So the responsibility is to ensure that the client pay their premiums and everything, and savings is good for everybody. Might as well just save more lah, and then more insurance, less and better than less insurance. So cover more. But I think after the FA comes out and everything, it becomes a lot more holistic. So the job of the advisor has evolved to ascertaining the needs of the clients, ascertaining whether the clients has a shortfall of the needs that they have, and to recommend the right solutions for the right needs in the budget that is affordable and sustainable for them. How do you ascertain the needs? It depends on the competency of the advisor. What type of products? It also depends on the type of firm you are in, and so on and so forth. But I think all products are created to meet a certain purpose, if not more than one. So I think that part will always remain the same. Regards to whether the responsibility, I think the difference would come where there is a mismanagement of the expectations of what the advisor wants to do and what the clients like to have from the advisor. So I think it has been discovered very early on in the process. Because I think to me is that I don't want to waste my time to meet somebody just to talk about something which I feel that the client just want to shop around. But of course, if the client say, hey, I don't intend to buy anything, but just help me review my needs and I will get back to you when I have cash. I think it's up to the advisor to decide whether they still want to go ahead. I would, because I feel that if this is my client, that's my job. If it's not my client, then I will decide whether it is someone that I want to spend some time to do so, right? But I won't use that to tilt the client towards buying a product that they may not have budget and they feel very pressured to do so. So I think the pressure part will come where maybe the goals that they have or the shortfall of their own targets have not been hit and so on and so forth. Then they start to be more strong-armed in the way they approach the closing process.
So, do you think it is a job or responsibility of the FA to provide some financial literacy to the client? Because clients are more likely to be completely unaware than to be understand the conversations they're about to have with the FA.
Yes, I think first thing, as I said, I think it's very important for advisors to have advocate kind of approach to the clients. It's always good to have clients to improve their own knowledge or to start their thirst for knowing more, or they realize, hey, I think it's good to learn more. I think I'm lacking in this arena. I'm going to spend a bit more time to do so. And of course, it boils down to the advisors and what kind of advice I want to, what type of help. Because I think the one thing that people will start thinking about when I say such things would be, what if you give every knowledge to the client and they say that I don't need you anymore, I can do it myself. Then it all boils down to what is the client looking for. Because some clients, if they just want you to give them knowledge or the proposals and then they go and buy it themselves, then you ask yourself, do you want to have a long-term professional relationship with this client? Because they may not do it now, they may do it in the future, right? I think you need to let the client see if there's something of value that you can provide to them. So that will be something that we do so, which is financial literacy. I will always encourage the clients to come for client seminars where there are financial literacy topics for them to do. And we are even asked as CFP holders or even in the associations to educate the public on the importance of some things like retirement, will, trust, LPAs, investment risk, and so on and so forth. Even when you invest in CPF for the first time, there is also a quiz the client got to go through, which is all part of financial literacy. I will use that as a teaching point to teach my clients what investment is all about. So I will do a little tutorial with them before they do their quiz. So they will say, oh, why you spend so much effort to do that? I just say, no, I want you to know. Because it's also safeguard ourselves, because the client cannot say, I do not know that I'm in this risk. Because Danny just tells me everything also can. But I think if they have knowledge and they know full well the risk that they are in going to it, and they still go ahead with it, I think it's a win-win thing.
I think it's also a double-edged sword for your clients to then know how much work you're putting in to try and navigate the fact that some things very risk-averse, some things very risky. Then you're just like, okay, now I know what he's doing. He's like putting in on effort to now I know what I need dollar cost average. With that in mind, so that now that we know the times are clearly different. Let's say tomorrow morning, you open your door and 16-year-old Danny is standing in front of you. He says he wants to join your agency. 1, would you allow him? And 2, if yes or no, what advice would you give a 16-year-old Danny?
When the real Danny was 16-year-old,
yeah,
he told his dad that he wants to be a stockbroker. And the dad says it's a dying trade. Because now transaction costs are coming down and it actually happened. Now it's a lot more cheap. Right? There's a lot of trading portals that is quite cheap nowadays compared to those days. So if I go back to myself on 16 years old and he said, I want to join your industry, you got to see how you envision this industry to be in 30 years down the road. Right? I mean, 30 years down the road, right? So I would say, I think it's good to explore. Finance is always a very good industry in Singapore. It has been. It will still be. We have no other physical resources, right? So finance is very important. There's nothing wrong with picking up skills of investments, skills of understanding, even taking the exams that young Yen has taken. Nothing wrong with doing it because it's good for you to learn it on your own basis on what to do and what not to do. And there are also many parallel roles in the industry that is far beyond just being an FA. For example, the business distribution, or even in the investment banks and so on and so forth. So whatever you have gone through, try for a few years. If it doesn't work out, it's fine. Your skills are still complementary to things. But that's if you like finance in the first place. So of course, if I tell myself in 16 years old, I say, yes, I hate science. Yes, I'll get out. I will do accounts and econs for my A-levels. So then that Danny will say, yes, that's good. But I also will tell them the detours that I've taken. So hopefully the young Danny is not going to be that impatient to hear me yep too much.
Then do you have any last concluding advice for like clients who are a bit maybe hesitant to find a financial advisor and maybe upcoming advisors who are looking to join the industry?
I think to clients, I think we are all part of the ecosystem of providing quality advice. I think there are always people in every industry that may not do what is truly appropriate at all times. But I think the majority of us are doing our best. So try to find the advisor that suits what you're looking for. So do ask questions of how they approach the business and how they will do through the whole process before they even start. Of course, if they start to do products and everything, if you like someone who loves to show you products and everything, I think that's the right person. So I think it's pick and choose. You can really choose something that suits you. You can fly Scoot, you want to fly AirAsia, you want to fly SQ, you want to fly Qatar. It will bring you to the destination somehow in various levels of comfort and price point. So there is choice in the market. So take your time and do that. And to would-be advisors, okay, new entrants, also find a group that suits what you're looking for in the industry. It's good to have all three, definitely. The 3 I's: income, independence, impact. It's all very important. But if you have to choose one, what would be? That will also determine whether the place you are going to be is going to mentor you in the way that you want to be mentored. So I think it'll be very clear what you're looking for to come in. So you hear from my story, it will mostly be the impact and the independence when I have milestones that I have with my kids that I fiercely protect. Lastly, I think it's always good to ask those questions and to ensure that the person that's trying to talk to you is not over-promising stuff. Ask for the real life, ask for the setbacks, or ask for the struggles that we discuss a lot about, and see if that resonates with you and you're okay to give it a try. And don't be ashamed in 1 to 2 years down the road if things don't work out and say, I'm a failed advisor. Never say that. Everything happens for a reason. So you can walk out with your head held high. I did a reasonable best. It's not for me, but I learned a lot of things in this process. And now I'm much better to handle my own finances and be more financial literate in whatever I do. I think that's a win-win.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
And I think with that, we come to a very beautiful conclusion. The world now has changed and is no longer a closed industry. There's a lot of places for you to have choices, both in the industry that you're about to join and the advisors you're about to speak with. So do go out and get yourself more educated. We're not asking you to spend your money. We're just asking you to be aware. And I think being aware would help us remove all the stigmas from the older generation to what the new generation has about financial literacy, being able to plan yourself, being able to be financially secure. And I think all these kind of things are just plain benefits that you should have as a person. And there are many ways you can go about doing it. This is one of the ways. And of course, if you're lazy like me and you don't really want to do it yourself, you can just go and have your FA, you pay doctor to save your life, then maybe you also can, pay the FA to save your financial life, do the right thing. And I think with that, I want to give a big thank you to Danny here for telling us so many insightful stories and anecdotes and sharing his insights with us. And if not, this has been a wonderful little episode on financial advisory in Are You For You? My name is Ian.
I'm Shireen.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye.